but wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Hail, 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 Mr. Pan Maker. Forget about road mats and panorama. It is you who got to make this steel pan. And the pan beaters who must fight over competition. So you can't study about no judges and score sheet. It is you who must put the industry on its feet. Because long before panorama reached, steel pan was still around. And steel pan go still be there even when that gone. So you tell me, how many grams of steel it could make to make a base pan? Or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan? Or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high single tenor? These are the facts that you must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep the drum, let them rent the skill of the man. But wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Hit me. Now is the time you must get together and decide on which styling you're using. So you could start right away on standardizing. Because we can't keep on arguing forever on which styling that you have today better. Because the most important duty today you have on hand is to try and keep steel pan for Trinidad. Just remember how many grams of steel it could take to make a base pan. Or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan? Or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high double tenor? These are the facts that we must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep their drum, let them rent the skill of the man. But wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Maker. It's time for the scientists and professor. The time is right now more than ever for we to get the pan down on paper. So they could start sending oil in plastic container. For we don't have we steel mill to take over. Then we could walk about the place and beat with chest like we bad and tell the world pan belongs to Trinidad. What we must know is how many grams of steel it could take to make a base pan. Or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan? Or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high single tenor? These are the facts that you must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep their drum, let them rent the skill of the man. But wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Hit me now.
Information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Well, I must say happy International Pan Day to Trinidad and Tobago. I hope that you guys are enjoying the pan music that I'm playing, because it is all for us to celebrate International Pan Day, and I'm very happy that we can celebrate, you know what I mean? We can celebrate an instrument that we as a nation invented. We invented the steel pan, and we are the ones that should celebrate more than the world celebrates. We should celebrate Happy World Steel Pan Day to Trinidad and Tobago. Happy World Steel Pan Day. I really hope that you, those of you who enjoy the pan music, enjoy the selections that I would have played for you a while ago. So again, happy World Steel Pan Day to you, Trinidad and Tobago. I hope that you all enjoying that. I really hope that you all enjoying the music. I enjoy playing it. Today is World Steel Pan Day. Today is the day that we celebrate the steel pan. And I hope that you all are enjoying the music. I am enjoying it myself, and I am happy to be playing it for you guys today on Constructive Talk. Happy World Steel Pan Day. You know what I mean? You know, one of the songs that I like a whole lot, and this is me. This is a song I love a whole lot when it comes to the steel pan, when it comes to talking about the pan and talking about the real information about the pan. To me, this is the pan song I love to listen to, I love to play. So take a listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, let me see what's happening here. This is my pan song.
Savior. Don't you know the whole future of the steel pan? Yes, it lies in you, the pan maker hand. It is you who must build the steel pan industry. So standardization is a must, you would agree. Because the secret of making steel pan is you alone must know, and you must carry that with you anywhere you go. You must know how many grams of steel it go take to make a base pan, or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a tenor pan, or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high double tenor. These are the facts that you must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep the drum, let them wreck the skill of the man, but wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Mr. Pan Maker, forget about road mats and panorama. It is you who got to make this steel pan, and the pan beaters who must fight over competition. So you can't study about no judges and score sheet. It is you who must put the industry on its feet, because long before panorama reached, steel pan was still around. Pan go still be there even when that gone. So you tell me how many grams of steel it could make to make a base pan, or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan, or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high single tenor. These are the facts that you must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep the drum, let them rent the skill of the man, but wrap up inside a we hand go be the secret of making pan. Hit me. the time you must get together and decide on which styling you're using, so you could start right away on standardizing, because we can't keep on arguing forever on which styling that you have today better, because the most important duty today you have on hand is to try and keep steel pan for Trinidad. Just remember how many grams of steel it could take to make a base pan, or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan, or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high double tenor. These are the facts that we must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep their drum, let them rent the skill of the man, but drop up inside our hand go be the secret of making pan. Hail, Mr. Pan Maker. It's time for the scientists and professor. The time is right now more than ever, for we to get the pan down on paper, so they could start sending oil in plastic container. For we don't have we steel mill to take over, then we could walk about the place and beat with chest like we bad, and tell the world pan belongs to Trinidad. What we must know is how many grams of steel it could take to make a base pan, or what is the degree of heat you need to burn a cello pan, or what is the size of the rubber to beat a high single tenor. These are the facts that you must have under lock and cover. So let them pirates keep their drum, let them rent the skill of the man, but drop up inside our hand go be the secret of making pan. Hit me now.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, that is my favorite pan song. That is my favorite pan song. I just like how Black Stallion break it down. He broke it down for the simplest child to understand. The secret in making pan, Trinidad and Tobago holds that secret. Nowhere else in the world holds that secret. Nowhere else in the world holds that secret of making pan. Alright? So how you guys going? I hope you all had a great day today. In San Fernando, the rain fell and kinda cooled down the place. The rain fell and cooled down the place, boy. And that's good. That's really, really good. I'm seeing where people are really complaining about the heat, but the advice that you're getting is to keep yourself hydrated. That's the advice that you're getting. Keep yourself hydrated. Cool? That's the advice. All right, so let's get into this evening's program. All right, let's get into this evening's program on Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
The Constructive Talk team with Pastor Google are asking for your support in their back-to-school drive. Let's help the less fortunate children get ready for the new school term. Donations of notebooks, copybooks, stationeries, and book bags would be greatly appreciated. Show your love, show your generosity by contacting 464-703 and we will organize collection of your donations. Thank you from the Constructive Talk team. And remember to be kind, be generous, and be loved.
Coming soon to Constructive Talk Network, Critical Thinkers. It's a youth show with a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, youth perspective on Constructive Talk.
Hey, all here. Na. Oh, I just played football and basketball, then I take a little walk in the mall. Now I say, please hear my call. I need some water to wash my balls.
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls. Yes, I need to bathe and I need to cook. Laundry piling up on the walls. But before anything else, was a look, I want water to wash my balls.
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls. You may not believe it's true, but my wife balls dirty too. My teeth getting yellow like they right. What's a please put water in the pipe?
Please, send some water. Please, hear these calls.
I can't take it no longer. I really need to wash my balls.
While discussions continue over the future of Hilton Trinidad, the Communication Workers Union reveals that workers have received notices and calculations of their potential severance packages. 2 weeks ago, Hilton Trinidad announced that if a new lease agreement with the government was not completed, it would be unable to retain employees after September 18th. But ETEC is sure that talks are in its final stages. During a CW press conference today, Secretary General Joanne Wajir said the notices are causing concern among workers who have been left uncertain about their future. The call comes as more than 250 Hilton Trinidad workers are affected. Wajir is now calling on the government and Hilton to provide clarity on the workers' future. And she's also demanding that Line Minister Saddam Hussein keep his promise that their jobs are safe.
We want to ask the minister, the Line Minister, MP Saddam Hussein, the promise that you made to Hilton workers, saying, fear not, don't worry, your job's safe. Is that promise going to be kept? We understand the semantics and the theatrics of political banter, but it must not sit or rest at the feet of workers. These workers have bills to pay, they have mouths to feed, they have children to educate, they have houses, cars to pay for.
CW Vice President Jolie Mohammed, who has worked at the Hilton for 39 years, says the uncertainty over jobs has left workers living in fear. He added that despite the hotel being booked and busy over the last 6 weeks, workers are still being scheduled to work 1 to 2 days a week.
some uncertain about the future. And listening to some workers, it heartbreaking sometimes, because some of them, and off the top of my head, I could think about 3 or 4 workers. Only 2026, they purchase brand new vehicles, showroom vehicles. I know some persons who are doing renovations. I know persons who purchase houses, and it poses a challenge.
CW also questioned whether the Prime Minister was comfortable with more than 250 workers being sent home under her administration.
Meanwhile, Hilton has signaled that it wants to continue its 64-year presence in Trinidad, but says its lease remains on course to terminate on September 18th if a long-term agreement with government is not reached.
You know, it is getting problems for talking about it's getting problems for talking about Hilton, because I don't hear nobody on the video talking about Hilton, so, and I will I want to say something, you know, but I will leave it there. We want to talk about everything else, boy. But we do want to talk about what people are going through, boy. We could talk about everything else, boy. We understand everything else, boy. We seeing everything else, boy. We touching on everything else, boy. We talk about the savannah and the green. On the savannah, it's a green spot. Yeah, we could talk about that. We can look at that. We could scrutinize that. We can point out all that's going on where that is concerned. But let me be real now. We ain't touching on Hilton at all. We have some we talk about everything, boy. We touching on everything, boy. But we not touching on Hilton at all. I wonder why. Anybody could tell me why? Could tell me why everything else is of importance to some people, but Hilton is not? Hilton is not important to some people in this country at all. Hilton workers not important. And as Miss Udru said, it's PNM and UNC workers there. It's PNM and UNC workers working there. And I will leave it there. I will leave it there because I might say some things that, you know, might upset some people and they might stop watching the show. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to leave it there now. So, other things happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Other things that I played for you was last night news. With Miss Ujur, Joanne, I plan to have on the program, but I had to let her settle because some of the things that she might say on the program might upset some of you. So, you know, let me allow her to take a breather, and then I'll get her to come on and talk about some of the stuff that, you know, irks her, that has upset her. You know, yesterday she made the news, you know, she made the news well. So me play for you the TSTT issue that she spoke about, and take a listen to Miss Joanne Ujuru.
Welcome back. The Communication Workers Union is warning that TSTT workers could shut down all operations if management backs away from a promised 10% wage increase. The warning comes as TSTT celebrates its highest annual profit in 17 years. CW Secretary General Joanne Ojiri says, given the company's latest figures, there should be no reason for management to back away from its commitment to workers. This comes as TSTT recently reported a $214 million profit for the financial year ended March 2026. That represents a 103% increase over the previous year and the company's strongest profit performance since 2009. Ojiri says workers contributed to those results and should receive the agreed increase.
We agreed on 10% with consolidation of COLA for the period 2020 straight to 2025. And we are actually happy, as a matter of fact, because we are actually waiting for the CEO or the VP of HR, Mr. Roshan Babwa, to call us for us to sign on the dotted line, because we would hate to think that that is some type of misunderstanding. And now, if you are making that type of significant profit.
When CNC3 News contacted TSTT's acting CEO, Keno Cox, he said TSTT remains committed to engaging with the union in good faith through the established collective bargaining process. He added that matters relating to compensation are subject to that process.
So that's Miss Joanne again, making the news, and she's talking on behalf of TSTT workers. She's lobbying for them to get their 10% and, you know, the gratuity and but all that they lobbied for, she is, you know what I mean, backing. I'm lobbying for it. So we're seeing where big companies are opening up in Trinidad and Tobago. Big companies are opening up, boy. You have the gas company that is opening up. And we're watching to see how that not gas company, I mean, the metal company is opening up. And we're watching how that go. We are watching how things happening with stuff happening in Trinidad and Tobago, man. So I wanted to play for you what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago, where the industry, gas industry and the oil industry and things are booming, you know. That's what they're trying to convince us of, that things are booming in the country. You know, we going into a gas boom. So let's take a listen to this. And then we're going to we're going to get into a little discussion and stuff like that. Thinking before I play that, I'm seeing where anyway, let's play this and then we're going to talk about that later on. So take a listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago, what's going on with our industry. Alright, we're going to take a listen and let you know and tell me what you think.
Two economists are tonight warning that while the planned $750 million revival of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant could be a much-needed boost, the potential risks and fine print surrounding the investment cannot be ignored.
Economist Professor Patrick Watson and Dr. Jamelia Harris both believe the project could generate foreign exchange, stimulate economic activity, and create employment, but say its ultimate benefit to the country will depend heavily on the arrangements underpinning the investment. Watson, however, is particularly cautious, questioning whether the country has seen enough information to determine if the deal is as beneficial as it appears, and warns that multinational corporations ultimately pursue their own interests. Professor Watson said while he is hoping for the best, he does not want this to be what he called a Trojan horse.
Of course, if this is something that is hastily done just to gain political points, and to score points on promises of greater employment and of greater earning of foreign exchange. That is not something that I am going to applaud at all. But I am waiting to see it happen. And if it does happen, I will be the first to say sincerest congratulations.
Meanwhile, Dr. Harris similarly believes the project has significant potential, but said much will depend on the agreements negotiated by the government, particularly regarding local content. Harris also wants greater clarity on possible tax concessions and other incentives that may be granted to the investor. The economist also flagged environmental concerns surrounding steel and vanadium production. She added that there are a lot of unanswered questions that government should provide clarity on.
I also think that, we're in a difficult place economically. I don't think that is, most people understand that and accept that. But having said that, we need to be mindful that we shouldn't rush in just for short-term gains. We also need to think about the long-term factors.
Dr. Harris also cautioned against viewing closer integration into a U.S.-controlled critical mineral supply chain purely through an economic lens.
She said TNT has traditionally maintained a degree of balance in its foreign policy and remains economically interconnected with countries such as China.
A metallurgist is questioning this country's capacity to produce vanadium just one day after the reopening of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant was announced as the potential start of a new minerals industry.
The new Ibis Steel Company plans to produce and process vanadium, a critical mineral used in specialty steels and increasingly important in large-scale energy storage. But Professor Clement Imbe, who specializes in studying the chemical, says the country lacks the raw materials needed to produce vanadium independently and would likely have to import them.
I do not think that we have any capacity to produce vanadium on our own. We'll have to import raw materials.
Vanadium is not found as a pure metal in nature. Instead, it is made through extractions from industrial byproducts and mineral ores through a multi-step chemical heating and refining process. Imbe believes that the former ArcelorMittal plant was relatively modern and used the Midrex process, which relies on natural gas to reduce iron ore. However, he says it now raises another question as to whether the country has enough gas to support the proposed operation.
Yes, technologically it's feasible. Economically, whether we have the gas to spare to use that, if it is they were to use the Midrex plant, because the Midrex plant also uses gas reduce ore. That is a question I suppose the people who are expertise in gas supply have to answer.
Yesterday, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar announced a landmark cross-border gas breakthrough and a series of major energy and industrial agreements during an official visit by U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lando. In doing so, the PM signaled an industrial renewal in TNT, assuring the country will be securing the gas needed to sustain it.
CNC3 News reached out to the Environmental Management Authority on whether consultation with Ibis Steel Company has taken place and whether the monitoring of operations will take place, and we await those responses.
Well, the return of steel production to Point Lisas is being welcomed by residents and small business owners in the area.
They say the restart of the plant could bring more people, more business, and more opportunities to the community. Ivan Tulsi and Sasha Wilson have more.
For 10 years, the former ArcelorMittal steel plant sat quiet, a reminder of an industrial giant that had shut down. Now, with refurbishment work underway, excitement is building in surrounding communities. A former contract worker at the plant says he welcomes the opportunity to see the facility active once more.
I used to hustle with a contractor many years ago, and when things was getting a little tougher, I had to leave the work. I am happy right now. They're going to open back the mill. In the area which is Point Lisas area, California, will be live again, because right now things are slow in the area. Work is not much as like before, but now this mill is open. A lot of guys who work in the mill is from this area. and they will very welcome that mill opening back again.
And it's not just former workers who are expecting a boost.
I have a rotation of food sales obviously going to increase, not for me only, but for all the other food businesses in the area.
Wendy Pramsuk's family runs a double stall, a small variety store and a vegetable stall nearby. She says more activity at the plant should mean more customers for businesses like hers.
Yes, it will. Because sometimes people just come and ask for different variety of food, different stuff, and we try our best to facilitate everybody whichever way we can. And whichever way. So, they could come and they could get something to eat comfortable and still come back. They could go and tell a friend and come back the next day. And everybody will be happy at the end of the day.
And for this roadside vendor development is another positive sign for the area.
For me, my business doing very good as it is here normal, but if it have more people coming to the plant, my business will definitely do much better.
The local subsidiary of Ibis Steel Company, backed by US-based Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation, plans to invest $750 million in the development. The project could create up to 1,000 permanent jobs. The plant had been idle since ArcelorMittal closed in 2016, displacing 644 workers. Now, the hope in Point Lisas and surrounding communities is that the plant's rebirth will also bring new life to the local economy. Sasha Wilson, CNC3 News.
Two economists are tonight warning that while the planned $750 million revival of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant could be a much-needed boost, the potential risks and fine print surrounding the investment cannot be ignored.
Economist Professor Patrick Watson and Dr. Jamelia Harris both believe the project could generate foreign exchange, stimulate economic activity, and create employment, but say its ultimate benefit to the country will depend heavily on the arrangements underpinning the investment. Watson, however, is particularly cautious, questioning whether the country has seen enough information to determine if the deal is as beneficial as it appears, and warns that multinational corporations ultimately pursue their own interests. Professor Watson said while he is hoping for the best, he does not want this to be what he called a Trojan horse.
Of course, if this is something that is hastily done, just to gain political points, and to score points on promises of greater employment and of greater earning of foreign exchange, that is not something that I am going to applaud at all. But I am waiting to see it happen. And if it does happen, I will be the first to say sincerest congratulations.
Meanwhile, Dr. Harris similarly believes the project has significant potential, but said much will depend on the agreements negotiated by the government, particularly regarding local content. Harris also wants greater clarity on possible tax concessions and other incentives that may be granted to the investor. The economist also flagged environmental concerns surrounding steel and vanadium production. She added that there are a lot of unanswered questions that government should provide clarity on.
I also think that, we're in a difficult place economically. I don't think that is, most people understand that and accept that. But having said that, we need to be mindful that we shouldn't rush in just for short-term gains. We also need to think about the long-term factors.
Dr. Harris also cautioned against viewing closer integration into a U.S.-controlled critical mineral supply chain purely through an economic lens.
She said TNT has traditionally maintained a degree of balance in its foreign policy and remains economically interconnected with countries such as China.
A metallurgist is questioning this country's capacity to produce vanadium just one day after the reopening of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant was announced as the potential start of a new minerals industry.
The new Ibis Steel Company plans to produce and process vanadium, a critical mineral used in specialty steels and increasingly important in large-scale energy storage. But Professor Clement Imbe, who specializes in studying the chemical, says the country lacks the raw materials needed to produce vanadium independently and would likely have to import them.
I do not think that we have any capacity to produce vanadium on our own. We'll have to import raw materials.
Vanadium is not found as a pure metal in nature. Instead, it is made through extractions from industrial byproducts and mineral ores through a multi-step chemical heating and refining process. Imber believes that the former ArcelorMittal plant was relatively modern and used the Midrex process, which relies on natural gas to reduce iron ore. However, he says it now raises another question as to whether the country has enough gas to support the proposed operation.
Yes, technologically it's feasible. Economically, whether we have the gas to spare to use that, if it is they're going to use the Midrex plant, because the Midrex plant, as I say, uses gas reduce ore. That is a question I suppose the people who are expertise in gas supply have to answer.
Yesterday, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar announced a landmark cross-border gas breakthrough and a series of major energy and industrial agreements during an official visit by U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lando. In doing so, the PM signaled an industrial renewal in TNT, assuring the country will be securing the gas needed to sustain it.
CNC3 News reached out to the Environmental Management Authority on whether consultation with Ibis Steel Company has taken place and whether the monitoring of operations will take place, and we await those responses.
Well, the return of steel production to Point Lisas is being welcomed by residents and small business owners in the area.
They say the restart of the plant could bring more people, more business, and more opportunities to the community. Ivan Tulsi and Sasha Wilson have more.
For 10 years, the former ArcelorMittal steel plant sat quiet, a reminder of an industrial giant that had shut down. Now, with refurbishment work underway, excitement is building in surrounding communities. A former contract worker at the plant says he welcomes the opportunity to see the facility active once more.
I used to hustle with a contractor many years ago, and when things was getting a little tougher, I had to leave the work. I am happy right now. They're going to open back the mill. And in the area which is Point Lisas area, California, will be live again, because right now things are slow in the area. Work is not much as like before, but now this mill is open. A lot of guys who work in the mill is from this area, and they will very welcome that mill open back again.
And it's not just former workers who are expecting a boost.
I have a roti shop, so the sales obviously going to increase. Not for me only, but for all the other food businesses in the area.
Wendy Pramsuk's family runs a double stall, a small variety store and a vegetable stall nearby. She says more activity at the plant should mean more customers for businesses like hers.
Yes, it will. Because sometimes people just come and ask for different variety of food, different stuff, and we try our best to facilitate everybody whichever way we can. And whichever way. So, they could come and they could get something to eat comfortable and still come back. They could go and tell a friend and come back the next day, and everybody will be happy at the end of the day.
And for this roadside vendor development is another positive sign for the area.
For me, my business doing very good as it is here normal, but if it have more people coming to the plant, my business will definitely do much better.
The local subsidiary of Ibis Steel Company, backed by US-based Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation, plans to invest $750 million in the development. The project could create up to 1,000 permanent jobs. The plant had been idle since ArcelorMittal closed in 2016, displacing 644 workers. Now, the hope in Point Lisas and surrounding communities is that the plant's rebirth will also bring new life to the local economy. Sasha Wilson, CNC3 News.
Good day, Trinidad and Tobago. This is Beyond the Veil reporting live. This is what you call performance. Performance beats old talk any day, anytime. This is what Trinidad looks like when it's flourishing under a government that cares, under a prime minister that cares for the people of this country. Remember when they laid off 600 workers without a severance package? It is alleged that the former Attorney General of this country was in bed with those people and advising them how to go bankrupt in order not to pay those workers. You all remember that? I am glad to see that our country is flourishing. Whatever the cankerworm eat for 10 years, God is going to restore it in this land. This land called Trinidad and Tobago, the name derived from the word La Trinity, the Holy Trinity. This country is a chosen country out of the Caribbean in God's eyes, and people not waking up to this. I am glad to see that the U.S. is taking this country and spin it around for the good of the citizens of this country, so we all can prosper and have something to call work, get money, and see about our families. This is what they call performance here. I don't know about the rest of people and what they think, but this year will put Trinidad and Tobago on the map. We are rising, people. We are rising. Bit by bit, we are going to make it through this, because we have a government that cares for the people of this country. We ain't studying old talk and distraction anymore. We're looking at performance. Have a blessed day.
Oh, yes. The woman say, we're looking at performance. We're not looking at old talk and distraction. We're looking at performance. Oh, gosh. Only take that. At one time, I thought was heavy sister. The way how she said the country. I say, hey. That heavy sister. Oh, man. So what are your thoughts about what you heard about the energy sector? What are your thoughts? I played it twice for you all to hear what the economists and they are saying. They might call them P&M economists. But what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts about what is happening in the energy sector of Trinidad and Tobago? What is your thoughts about it? I said I wanted to play that for you this evening to start the conversation going. What is your thoughts about it? 464-7003 464-7003. Hello, good evening.
Then, Pastor, how are you going to?
I'm okay, so how are you?
I'm good. What's your program? I just sent something there or something.
You're breaking up a little bit, I don't know why.
I just hear now.
No, you're cracking up.
I hear. You hear now?
Yeah, go ahead, let me see if you can make out what you're saying.
I just sent something on your WhatsApp. Concerning the same project that they're talking about. They're not busy and everything. I'll let you check your WhatsApp.
But don't tell us you're on the live already. Is a video you want me to play or something?
No.
Well, tell us what it is. Tell me what it is. Because I will not be able, let me tell you why. I will not be able to see it because calls are coming in. And because there's somebody already on the phone line waiting for when you come off. So I will not be able to see it. So tell me what it is.
All right. It speaks to the environmental concerns of this project. The environmental, the contamination issues in the environment.
Right.
Right. In a long time.
No, caller, this is what the program is about. It's about edifying. It's about constructive talk. So
All right,
if you have the information in front of you,
No, I don't have it.
and you can share it with us, and it would generate conversation with other callers who are committed, who would just be calling in. It would be good for you to just share with us what it is about,
Right.
so that
What
when
I
you
did, I pushed on that portion, and I decided to send the whole page. Right.
Okay.
What was said was, yes, yeah, environmental concerns, right? It disrupts. It disrupts. I'm just going to paraphrase. It disrupts the water, also the plants, also it affects people.
Okay.
In production, right? What anybody listening to? I don't want to take long because I love this. What I could do is look up on the environmental concerns of the production of this element that they're talking about.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But not being told everything, one, and let us not forget, it has energy negotiations. What happened with this country?
All
Let's
right.
not forget.
All right, cool.
So I looked on and I listen to the people talk because they will give them a better
idea of what's happening. All right, thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Pastor Google, how are you doing?
I'm all right, sir.
All right. Just quickly, once again, I want to thank you for playing such a pivotal role, an important role in making the masses aware. I don't know if you was familiar, Pastor Google, with a statement made by the goodly PM with regards to public-private partnerships. Right? We need to be very, very careful and mindful. There's a concept called private equity, and a lot of these venture capitalists, a lot of these private equity firms, what they do, they've done a lot of decimation and damage, elsewhere globally. I'll give you some examples. Sears Roebuck, Toys R Us, Joanne Fabrics. So what they'll do, they'll take a loan, $750 million, right? And they will invest in a struggling company, maybe something that closed down or whatever, right? They take this loan and they invest in the company to an extent, right? Just for minimum profitability. So they're keeping the cost low and the profitability high, right? In this particular case, is linked to the AI quantum chip making process, right? Unfortunately, these particular venture capitalists, where they're coming from, they're way behind in the AI quantum chip making race. So apparently, the Chinese have a lock on we call them rare earth minerals. Globally, they have a lock on. If you want to get rare earth minerals to do anything quantum chip making, you have to go to the Chinese, right? So there's a desperate scramble right now for rare earth minerals like this one that they're focusing on, right? So back to the venture capitalists, the private equity firms. So what they'll do once it becomes profitable to an extent, they'll start they'll pay themselves first, and then they'll pay the shareholders, right? This on the surface, this has absolutely nothing to do with what is being purported in the media, and I think we're in a very, very, very precarious place, because once the venture capitalists, once the private equity firms pass through, all they leave is carnage. All right, so something to consider, but continue the good work, Pastor Google, and I think that we really, really need to be a bit more aware of the big global picture. All right.
But let me ask you this question before you go.
Yes.
Who negotiated with those people for that metal plant?
Well, that's an excellent question, Pastor Gould. Look at it like this. think of it in terms of a real estate agent. Government ministers are agents. So you have something called agency law, right? The lobbying process, if you look at Dr. Rowley or Stuart Young, they were going to the boardrooms and negotiating for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This country, the country's energy and mineral wealth belongs to the people of the country. So when you hire an agent, let me say hire a real estate agent, the agent is supposed to negotiate profitability on your behalf. But what a lot of agents do, because you are not privy to the details of the information, they might tell you, hey, you know, I'm getting $40,000-$50,000 for your property rental or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really and truly, they might be getting 100,000. Right, so you're right to ask the question about the who is negotiating. Where in a lot of cases people are asking for transparency. Stuart Young, Dr. Rowley, yourself, where's the transparency? There's a reason why they're not being transparent. There's a very specific reason why they're not being transparent. Because if you find out and that's why I always reiterate, Trinidad runs a lot on non-disclosure agreements. Right, so that I think it was such a pertinent question. We're in a precarious place, Pastor Google. You know, I remember yourself, Brian, Professor Simpleton pointing out that once the carnival season was over, you're going to start to see the cracks in the whole episode, and you know, it's a downward spiral. But hopefully, if something can be done to rectify the situation before the beginning of next year, then we might start a chant. We might need to, start a petition to call an election, because this is dangerous territory, critical. All right. So you have a good night, Pastor Go. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome, sir. So we looking at this. Who would have negotiated on Trinidad and Tobago behalf where this company is concerned? I see the Prime Minister is talking up and rating up point leases. Who started point leases? Who's the country which government started point leases? You know? So again, we're seeing what's happening in the energy sector. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Pastor Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, well, I listened to this guy right now talking. Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Right. So I'm now listening to this guy what speak there. So what I was now going to man come up talking, but that is transparency. Listen to me, this woman, why we African people, some of us could get fooled so fast? Why? An election coming up, so they're bringing things to make people feel, well, they come, right? And things will happen. But I'll have to wait and see until things happen, them to boast about it. I wonder how much you pay her to do that. You know? To come up and boast in, right? Since they come in, say, you know, what they do. More than Saturday, some boot and paying out a set of money, spending a set of money. I want to know about the staff and them where they cut their money. To hear more on that. Right? People quick to be fooled, boy. They really, really be fooled by this government. That is what I'm saying. We have to watch ourselves in this time. Always talking to these people at Trinidad and Tobago, and they will listen. Well, Tobago true because they're fully for them. Right? They can't answer a question. They're not saying nothing. Fally not saying nothing. Fally quiet. Yeah, he not saying nothing about this government. But he could have quick to say all kind of thing about Dr. Rowley. Only you're getting nothing in Tobago neither. But your mouth hush. They stitch it up. Right now. You know? So, let me see what's going to take place. Let them be fooled. Okay, Pastor Google.
All right, thank you very much. So I continue to take your calls on 464-7003, 464-7003. What is your thoughts about what's happening in the energy sector? There's another clip I wanted to play for you in concerning the energy sector. Where is it? I believe it's this clip. All right, so take a listen to this clip on the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago.
The Prime Minister's announcement of NGC's deal with BP, which would increase its stake in the Mannequin cocaine field by 20%, is being seen as welcome news for the local energy sector. Former Energy Minister Kevin Ramrine says the deal signals a high probability of a final investment decision by BP. He says if all goes to plan, we can expect cocaine and Mannequin to be in production in a few years. That is, of course, positive for the TNT energy sector. Another former Energy Minister, Caroline Sipachad-Bachan, says the deal is just one step towards restoring TNT's energy sector's production levels.
With proven reserves of about just 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, the field should be viewed as an important medium-term source of supply, rather than a complete solution to the country's gas shortage. Trinidad and Tobago will still need to accelerate larger projects such as Calypso, the ExxonMobil ultra-deep acreage, and additional exploration if it is to restore both the LNG and petrochemical sectors to full production.
However, she views the announcements regarding this deal, as well as the Ibis steel mill and a new fuel storage terminal, as encouraging with regards to investor confidence. Meanwhile, the Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago describes it as a logical next step for the region cross-border gas developments. In a release, the Chamber says the development should keep gas flowing into LNG and petrochemical plants, which can revitalize the Point Teresa's industrial base. As it notes that 70% of the gas is earmarked for Atlantic LNG, while 30% is dedicated to the domestic petrochemical sector. Canto General Secretary Teresa Wankin says the group continuously faces challenges in the Caribbean due to fragmented laws and regulations across jurisdictions, which hinder investment and new player entry. She says despite these challenges, interest in the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago is growing.
I know Trinidad and Tobago is ripe for investment. I know Trinidad and Tobago has very good redundancy and good connectivity, but in terms of new telecommunications players coming in, I'm not too sure.
She was speaking with Business Watch at Canto's 41st conference currently being held in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. She says the conference is important in technological infrastructure throughout the Caribbean. For a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices.
So you just heard for yourself. Alright, so you heard Mr. Kelvin Ramnarine, former energy minister, and you heard Ms. Caroline Sipachad-Bachan, former energy minister. Tomorrow, the People's National Movement is having a press conference, and former energy minister and Prime Minister Stuart Young will be speaking at that press conference, and I believe he will have a whole lot to say about the energy sector and what's going on in our energy sector. Alright, so continue to take your calls. 464-7003 464-7003. So we're looking at the energy sector. We're looking at news that was made today by the economist, and they're saying, hey, don't put your hopes up, take your time, don't put your hopes up too much about the opening of the steel mill, the metal. Don't put your hopes up too much. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. My main question is, who did all the lobbying? Who was the lobbyist? Who spoke on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago? Because when you listen to the guy from America and how he spoke about the Prime Minister, clearly is a political thing. Clearly, Ms. Bissessa is in bed with the Trump regime. Yeah? You don't believe me? You don't want me to play it for you, right? You don't want me to play it for you. Yeah, Ms. Bissessa is clearly in bed with the Trump regime. When you listen to what this guy, I'm trying to remember his name now, but I am going to try and play it for you. You need to hear what this gentleman had to say about the Prime Minister. I will never have it here. I'm not even seeing it, man. What kind of thing is that, man? And the man them, what's going on? I saw British people that's talking to them, man them. I'm going to try to find that video of this gentleman who came from America and was talking at the opening of the steel mill, and he talked about the Prime Minister in such high regard. If you heard what he had to say, I and all was like, but wait, no. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. When I heard this man talk, I said, wow. Apparently, only now that Ms. Bissessa is in office. Yeah, only now that Ms. Bissessa is in office, he is making it look as though Trinidad and Tobago has a relationship with America. Like if we don't know that our former Prime Minister would have gone over to America when Mr. Biden was in government, and what would have happened then, he don't know that we know about that. He think that we so dumb that we don't know what took place under when Mr. Biden, and we got a OFAC license. Like this man really think that we so dotish? But I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to find it. So bear with me, Trinidad and Tobago. But in the meanwhile, I can take your calls on 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts about Trinidad and Tobago and the energy sector and what's going on in our energy sector? What is your thoughts about it? I can take some of your calls now. Alright, so let me say good evening to all of you joining me on the live. I'm seeing you guys. Thank you all very much for being on with me this evening. We're looking at the energy sector. So while I wait for your calls, there are other issues that took place in Trinidad that is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. We're talking about now where the fireworks is back. Okay, so someone is calling. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Right,
good evening. Now, we jumping up with this thing here. And I said to them, if I have extra gas, I have train 1 that has been mothballed and shut down. We did some safety work to keep it in check. So if I have sufficient gas, which will be more profitable for me? Steel factory or train 1? I believe I'd make more money with my gas in train 1 than I'd make with my steel. Now this afternoon on your former radio station, I've said to Mr. Matheson, is this steel mill producing steel? Or the intention is to create a thing called vanadium or beryllium or whatever they call it. So this is not about steel per se, that we go in and all the man who driving around buying scrap iron, buying battery buying is going to drop all this scrap metal there. And we're going to get steel. China has all the raw earths minerals to make battery, to make anything, any chip, you name it. A few days ago, the conversation was Taiwan had military exercise. The whole of Taiwan, I forget how much million people on this little island, had an exercise with the intention that China want to take over Taiwan. Taiwan is one of the largest producers of semiconductors. China has all the raw earth, is in control of all the raw earth minerals in the world. America just recently had us to go to China and ask them to buy things to make batteries for the... If you notice, China has taken over the hybrid motorcar business. When it comes to batteries, they produce the best batteries, the safest battery in the world. Motorcar ain't catching up fire with battery again, like... Right? So, they run into a problem, so they come to Trinidad using a local company, what they call it, some name after some bird, Scalatibus or whatever, with an American company, to start out with 250 million with the intention to get to 700 million. But Pastor Google, all this hope we have, in order to start this plant, I have to have gas, Pastor Google, and I mightn't get the gas until 2027, 2028. The former Prime Minister said to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, tighten all your belts. Things are going to be rough. Look at what's going on in the world. But by 2027, the plans we have in place would bear some fruit. Now, I hear them boasting about this 20% deal that we get from Manatee or whatever they call it. I remember the former Prime Minister said to us, if I have a problem with the OFAC license, some of the gas is on my side, some of the gas is on them side. I think they already made some arrangement before they got out of office that in case the thing in playoff, that we'd have been able to take our gas on our side. So when I heard this thing yesterday, that BP is telling us they're selling us 20% of the gas, and it's a cross-border deal, Pastor Google. Did you see the Venezuelan Prime Minister anywhere telling the citizens of Venezuela we have just signed a new deal, memorandum of understanding with BP Amoco with a cross-border deal? Did you see that anyway, Pastor Google? All right. So therefore, this big idea that they give me, because none of them can jump on a plane to go to Venezuela. So, for my little idea, I could be wrong. What the former Prime Minister said that, yeah, we're going on taking the gas on my side is what BP doing presently now. So this thing like they're making me feel that we getting this big thing. It ain't that, you know. And I tell them, all the talk they're talking, that is not their doing. All these gas has nothing to do with this present administration. They are just benefiting from the work over 10 years from Stuart Young, former Prime Minister, and the former Prime Minister. That is what they are benefiting. So I am waiting to see if they don't get the gas in time for when the company clean up and ready to run. Would we end up like the same company that they brought from Japan, and then when we done, we had to go back to talk to them because them was giving them all the gas in Point Lisa and people in Point Lisa was making noise. You remember that incident? So I'm wondering. It's a good idea, you know, Pastor Google. It would generate a lot of workers, economy would keep moving. But when? The question is, when that is going to happen? And if Trump comes out of office, will we still have it? Will we be... Imagine this, Pastor Google. I don't want to call him Baby Hulk. Alexander said to us some time ago, yesterday or sometime, I tell Mr. Matteson again today, a set of hypocrites. I have a government, Pastor Google, in bed with Trump. We give up, we fight CARICOM. Give up CARICOM. Let a man come and put a radar here to tell me going and stop drugs and what? Overthrow a government of a next country with the help of Trinidad and Tobago. For we to get some gas, Pastor Google. After our first premier pay them off for Chagaramas, pay them off for the largest airbase in the CARICOM, which was Waterfield, and get rid of them. I have a lady with Alexander telling me, you know this new them mobile police posts that we putting up there, you know we might have Americans soldiers or whatever in these posts. So my democracy has now gone, and I have gone back to slavery under the white man rule. Enjoy your night, Pastor Boo.
right. Thank you very much. You continue to take your calls on 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago? Statements that are being made, things that are being said. Are you comfortable? Who negotiated? What is the negotiation? Interesting. So I have some clips I'm going to play. I have some. In the meanwhile, while I wait for Ola to call in, because like some of you all don't want to call in, I will play some clips in the meanwhile, while I await your calls. All right. While I wait for your calls, I will play you some clips for you to hear what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. I'd play these clips for you to see how the UNC using the state media. But the government, that is the government, and you cannot vex with them because it's the government. Right? I'm going to show you what is going on. Take a look at this. Trinidad and Tobago. Take a look at this. Alright? Take a look and listen to this. This government is showing you what is to come. Right? This government is showing you what is to come. So make sure. You can't say you know. They're making sure you know. Take a listen.
Production disappeared, and a major part of Trinidad and Tobago's industrial strength was left dormant.
Now, in 2026, the gates are opening again. Steel is returning to Point Lisas. The former steel operation at Point Lisas is being restored under new investment from Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation.
A steel plant creates work beyond its gates for skilled workers, contractors, transport companies, and local manufacturers.
10 years ago, one of Trinidad and Tobago's great industrial operations went silent. The steel plant at Point Lisas shut down.
Workers lost their jobs. Production disappeared, and a major part of Trinidad and Tobago's industrial strength was left dormant.
Now, in 2026, the gates are opening again. Steel is returning to Point Lisas. The former steel operation at Point Lisas is being restored under new investment from Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation.
A steel plant creates work beyond its gates for skilled workers, contractors, transport companies, and local manufacturers. This gives Trinidad and Tobago another opportunity to manufacture at home, support local business, and earn foreign exchange from exports.
Today, major NGC and BP agreements moved the Manakin-Coquina gas development forward and secured NGC's 20% interest in Manakin.
25% of the gas is expected to support domestic power, downstream industries, and Trinidad and Tobago's light industrial sector.
Put the pieces together. Steel, new gas, downstream industry, and the port. Point Lisas is moving again. Industry is returning. Investment is moving. Trinidad and Tobago is building again. Promises made, promises kept.
And that's on TTT. I'm going to play you something else. Take a look at showing you. Promises made, promises kept. Let's go. Take a listen to this one. I tell all you, wake up, you know. Wake up. I don't know if everybody winning. They must be keeping promises. But it doesn't mean that everybody winning. Alright? Take a listen to this. Take a listen to this. I just giving all of the information, eh? All don't vex with me. Take a listen to the information. Alright? Take a listen to the information. As I said, I just sharing the information with you guys. Right? I'm just sharing the info. Take a listen to the information. Okay? So the Prime Minister did speak at the Diplomatic Center about all these energy issues, all the energy things that are happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So take a listen to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago as she speaks about all the energy issues that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago.
I can tell you that today our nations turn long-standing friendship into action, into creating opportunities for our people, strengthening the wider Caribbean, and of course the partnership with the United States redounds to our benefit as well as to the people of the United States. I want to take a moment to thank President Trump and his team, including your good self, for all the partnering that we've done. And I know I was just checking a date, and when Minister of Foreign Affairs mentioned that we signed a document with BPTT, I said, say that date again. He said February 2015. And since then to now, nothing. You know who was the Prime Minister in February 2015? That is when I was the last Prime Minister. I signed that deal and caused it to happen with BP. And today, more than 10 years later, I'm closing the deal and we are really getting to work. So, we have very distinguished visitors with us here today who will be together, we work together, together we aspire, together we achieve. So just thank them as well. Curlew, thank you so much for your proposal. Fuel storage and bunkering terminal. Pinnacle Steel, for your work down at the steel plant. Again, another 10 years to have that plant up and running. We thank you for that. And together, you demonstrate renewed confidence in Trinidad and Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago's partnership with the United States. David, BP has been with us as long as I can remember, and I'm not that young, so that's a long time. We thank you for that partnering with you as we continue so to do. The US is our largest trading partner, a very key partner in energy and technology, health, security, and cross-border gas involving Venezuela. Foreign engagements by Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Minister Sobers, with the United States, a trade representative in Washington. I think that was on May 14th and July 16th. TNT qualified for the lower tier tariff rate of 10%, so thank you, Minister Sean, for representing us. And thereby, of course, less we had to pay. So we thank again the United States for lowering that rate down to 10%. So the MOU signed today involving Pinnacle Steel and Hummingbird AI Holdings also support our development as a regional center for technology-driven investment. We are restoring Point Lisas as an engine of growth. Pinnacle's acquisition there and proposed upgrade of the former Iscot plant for steel and vanadium, if that's the proper pronunciation, production, can and will restore capacity, will create jobs, much needed jobs, and benefit all local contractors and manufacturers, whilst at the same time signaling confidence in our steel sector. Curlew Midstream's proposed terminal can strengthen the port of Point Lisas and our energy and maritime infrastructure. Outstanding arrangements will be finalized in the national interest. The big announcement today, because my chairman said the Prime Minister will make a big announcement today. Well, there are two bigger ones, because there's immediately that same one will be signed years ago, 10 years ago, will be bringing gas to us. And alongside that Manikin Coquina field, industrial renewal, we're securing the gas we need to sustain it. Today marks a major advance, as you heard, in Manikin Coquina. Manikin lies in Block 5, Coquina lies across the maritime border in Block 4. In February 2015, back to February 2015, when I was your Prime Minister, both governments agreed to develop the field as a single unit, giving 66% to Manikin and 34% to Coquina. This makes the Manikin-Coquina field the only, as mentioned, unitized cross-border gas field in the Western Hemisphere, where agreement has been reached to develop the entire field. So friends, that has been a great move for us, and BP has agreed to assign NGC a 20% interest. Chairman Ramdeen has really negotiated well, and we thank you for that, Chairman, together with your team from NGC. On the 20th of May 2024, NGC and BP received an OFAC license to negotiate for Coquina. Venezuela issued a 20-year license on 29 July 24, granting NGC a 20% share, BP 80% share of those fields. The negotiations went on, and today we have secured, through the work of the NGC, 20%. That joint operating agreement governs the license. The Block 5B farm-out agreement gives NGC participation in Block 5B. These agreements align with Alliance NGC across the field, removes a major obstacle, and allows BP to accelerate its final investment decision, completing in a little over a year what had remained undone for more than 10 years. That field is expected to become the first successful cross-border development to monetize gas through Trinidad and Tobago. So we are delighted that you have brought this to fruition, David. Mr. Campbell, thank you so much. Thanks to BP at your head office, and thanks to BP TT here. We look forward to continuing to partner with you. Now, we may get lost in this field, Manikin Coquina, but there's a second announcement that we must not forget, and that is where BP has acquired all the shareholding of Woodside. Since I came into office, we have been trying to get Woodside to do something with the Calypso field, and if you're not doing something, sell it. Congratulations, Mr. Campbell, after 1 year, you were able to acquire all the shares from Woodside, so you're now 100% tied up with that Calypso field, which will again bring much needed energy to Trinidad. When I came back in office in April, I met April last year, I met BP Executive Vice President William Lynn, and of course BP President, whom is here today, Mr. Campbell, we met. And we also met with Woodside, so we were all at the same table. I think it was down at my conference room in South. We all were at the same table. And those discussions, as I say, have given fruit to what has happened today. We established a project concept, a path to final investment decision, discussions on possible NGC equity participation on the 6th August in that same year. This year, 2026, 16 months, BP agreed to buy out Woodside. So, Mr. Campbell, can we all thank Mr. Campbell so much? What this will do, this will accelerate our work in the energy industry. In energy, Calypso is a major domestic gas source and the first ever deep water development. Whilst I speak of this, we've signed with Curlew today, we signed with Pinnacle, IBIS, the steel, but not too long ago, in July of this year, we signed MOUs with 2 data centers. I see Mr. Prasad is here. Thank you. Can you please stand and let's welcome him. Ernst & Young, thank you very much, with your team. And we also signed with Hummingbird AI. Can you please stand so we can thank you? Thank you very much. So we have these 2 projects. They were back here, they were here in July. We signed up the MOUs and they're back to continue going forward. I think Mr. John is planning to take them tomorrow with the PLEPDECO people to actually visit sites so that we can make a decision where these should be located. So we thank them. I want to welcome ExxonMobil, who is here today as well. We did some work very early in my term when I came into government last year. We signed within months, I believe. Exxon, can you please stand, sir? Yes, we signed with ExxonMobil. And I don't know if you can tell us anything about the seismic that you're doing now. All right, we'll wait. You told me wait until August. We are in August, may I remind you. You're doing seismic in the very deep water. What do you call it, Gerald? NC, and ultra deep waters. And the fact that you brought in a partner with you means something good is happening there. So you got a partner to invest alongside you. Can we thank Exxon? We have a good project going there with Exxon. So I hope I have not forgotten any of them. ExxonMobil has been with us now since last year. We started that project. The seismic I mentioned, and I was told that we would get the results by the end of August. Okay, they're not telling me. Sure. But it's happening. I'm sure it's happening. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, as I close, I want to thank all of you for being here. I thank all those persons who have come to invest in Trinidad and Tobago, and to say today stands between two very proud milestones. America commemorated, what's it, 250 years, sir? 250 years, a couple of weeks ago. And in 3 weeks, we will be...
Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up, you know. Wake up, you know. I hear the Prime Minister said that they would have had discussions at her boardroom. Home behind her boardroom. Trinidad and Tobago, they wake up, you know. Wake up. I taking some calls. I just playing the videos, you know. I playing the videos. I'm taking some of your calls also. 464-7003. 464-7003. Do you have any concerns at all, Trinidad and Tobago? Do you have any concerns at all? Anything that is being said here is not worrying to you? I don't know, it's worrying to me. It's worrying to me, some of the things that I'm hearing here. But every country gets sell out. I don't know. If we country gets sell out, I don't know. Somebody need to tell me.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. What I just heard there, I said, craziness. So them just signing thing without telling the nation what they're signing.
Boy. But we will hear why.
Craziness. No, but that is craziness. The first thing what you're supposed to do, even say about you have that on the agenda, or you're supposed to have a conference, meeting with the nation, and let us know what is going on. Even say about you want to bring in these people here in Trinidad to invest and wherever, you have to inform us. At the end of the day, who vote for you? At the end of the day, taxpayers' money playing in the dance, you know. And they fail to realize that. That is craziness, boy. Wow. Well, Pastor Google, keep on showing whatever video they show.
All right. Thank you very
much. Listening and watching. Have a blessed night, Pastor Google.
Same to you. Thank you very much for calling.
You're welcome.
Take a look, Collier. Take a look. Take a listen. Take a listen. Take a look. It now start. Take a listen.
In democracy after democracy around the world, the voters have been calling for something different. Business as usual has ceased delivering for the people. Over the past year and a half, that kind of attitude by the voters brought back to power both President Trump in our country and Prime Minister Prasad Bisesar here in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think, as distinguished from a number of former leaders and other leaders around the world, these are two leaders who are absolutely focused like a laser beam on not just producing words, but producing results. And this celebration here today is, ironically, we're using words, but we're actually here to commemorate tangible achievements. I stood this morning at Point Lisa's in front of a rusting steel mill that's been inactive for 10 years, and because of the leadership of the Prime Minister here and President Trump in the United States, that steel mill is now coming back online with incredible benefits. For the people of both countries. And that is true of the other very significant projects that are being unveiled here today with Curlew at Exxon and with BP. These are huge projects that are going to change not only the energy trajectory of this country, but since energy is the basis of all economic activity, the entire economic landscape here and in our country as well. This is going to allow us to have a much more fruitful commercial relationship and mutually beneficial. I mean, this is what diplomacy is really all about. It is countries looking to advance their own interests, but finding mutually beneficial solutions. It's all about win-win. And again, Prime Minister, I just want to acknowledge your leadership, not only here in Trinidad and Tobago, but really in the region, and really showing that partnering with the United States can yield very concrete benefits for your people, the people of the region, and the people of the United States. So thank you for that. I just want to say again that I think today's ceremony underscores that capital will flow where it is welcome. And your administration has shown that capital is welcome here in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's why these industries, these plants that are now rusting, are getting reopened. And Trinidad and Tobago has an incredible industrial history. It was one of the powerhouses of this region of the world. And I think it has an incredible industrial future. But again, part of that depends on getting investments and capital to make the necessary improvements. And so just want to recognize your leadership on that and say that we in the United States are honored and delighted to work with you in partnership. So I actually think there is probably no better slogan, in a sense, for what is going on here than the slogan that is right on your beautiful Great Seal that's standing behind us. Together we aspire, together we achieve. So let's all continue to aspire towards even more meaningful projects we can work on together for the betterment of both our peoples. And let's look forward to future ceremonies like this where we actually show that we not only aspire, but we also achieve. Many thanks.
I have one question. I wonder if anybody out there could answer that question that I want to ask. The one question I have is, what going on with Petrotrin? What going on with the refinery? Anybody know what's happening with the refinery? Is the refinery still coded to open this year? We have 4 more months to go. Or August, September, October, November, December. We have 4 more months to go. Is it that the refinery is going to open this year still? Just asking for a friend. That's 1. 2. You hear how this man politicking, boy? Oh, you hear how this man politicking? You all heard what this man had to say? I hope that you all listened carefully to what he had to say. Donald Trump has midterm elections, eh? Donald Trump have midterm elections in November. Let's pray and hope that everything goes well, because we're going to see we're going to see what's going on, Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to see what's happening. So I'm taking your calls on the energy sector this evening. What's your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor. I take one more time to listen because I don't want to jump in and I listen to everything. I'm trying to understand. We still a member of we still can we are the one in New York State in America.
Why are you singing like that? You're singing real muffled. You're singing. Yeah, you're singing as though you're in a hole.
So now?
You're singing like you're in a hole. Talk to me, yeah?
You're not good now?
No, you're still singing as you have something across your mouth. Something.
No, I was operating a machine and work, so I could not call.
Alright, you're singing a little better there now. You're singing a little better now. But you're still singing as though you're in a hole now. Yeah, you're singing as though yeah.
You hear me good now?
Ah, you're singing a little better there.
Right.
You come out of the hole.
Why? I try to understand. If we, this is such a we happen to be the University of USA. About sir? You sign MOUs without consulting citizens, so we can be owing people, these people millions and don't know we're owing them. Who authorizes them to sign MOUs? You just you just confirm in July that you sign MOUs. Who you tell me you sign MOUs? So jump low, this thing coming. This so-called data center coming. Jump low. So what we telling me is you just do me a feel and don't care. And all want to jump about steel thing. That steel thing, we ain't getting no money from somebody in a hurry. I listen that. That plan down 10 years. You know how long you know when they're going how long they're going to take to bring that plan back to the better operation. That ain't gonna happen next year, no. So all who feel like that gonna happen next year, that ain't gonna happen next year. They're about 3 years, they're gonna take 2, 3 years, they're gonna take. So all want to jump on thing. I listen to all of us today. I mean, link all that because I realize half of them plus really dance by because you cannot tell me you really and truly after a plan has been done for 10 years. Somebody can say, well, yeah, we go back. That ain't going to take that will be next year. That will be at least 2 years. I try to understand these people. Don't forget the stands local. The master. Hello?
So what local had to do with that?
This is campaigning.
Oh, okay. So you see it as campaigning. Okay, you see it as campaigning. I hear you.
Say again?
I hear you. You see it as campaigning. I hear you.
I see this campaign, they come to talk and say, so watch and understand. I listen to her, just sorry. So for 10 years, nothing happened. So Strong didn't do nothing. That's why they didn't do nothing. You come a couple of months and do everything. That is the straight and right, right? Really and true, right? I try to understand these people. Something wrong with them, but it's a good thing it's not a good thing something going in the election. No? Thank God. Because I want to know when he gets voted, what she will do. Because it's a clear case of hand in hand with leadership with them. They must do what they want, how they want. No, they don't consider nobody. And you can see them don't care what democracy be because the man say it's a different democracy. Them don't care. All them care what is saying out of the country. Anyhow, that makes some space. I'll go on.
Thank you very much, caller. Yeah, so we're taking your calls 464-7003. 464-7003. Let's hear your views. What is your views on the whole energy things that are happening in Trinidad and Tobago? You know, you heard what the gentleman had to say. I am really taken aback. Being in nothing about Petro train. What going on with Petro? What going on with the refinery? What going on with the refinery? Only tell me that. And still, Mr. Roger, what going on with the refinery? I hear always have meetings in OWTU. And people realize that only on games, only started off with 100 people. We hear it boil down to 10. Or people realizing that, hey, no refinery ain't coming away now, you know. So, what going on with the refinery? Mr. Roger, what going on with the refinery? Look the steel mill that the rusty the bad say the bad say the thing rusty. I hope they get a tetanus injection. The man say the thing rusty. It's rusty. But they're going to open it back. So, what month we in? August, September, October, November. In the next 3 months, Trinidad and Tobago, keep your eyes on America. Because if Donald Trump doesn't come back, or if Donald Trump don't win that midterm, and he is, how to put it, stalled, stuck, can't move, what is going to happen with your steel mill? What is going to happen, Trinidad and Tobago, if Donald Trump don't win the midterm? What will happen? Huh? You tell me. What you think will happen? Give me a call, 464-7003. 464-7003. I take your calls, hear your views, give me your feedback on what you think is going on with our energy sector. I see where fireworks is coming back. Fireworks is coming back for Independence Night. Yep, I see where they are advertising fireworks. Take a listen to this.
Welcome back. After going dark last Independence, fireworks are expected to return to TNT's skies this August 31st.
Sources tell CNC3 News talks are underway with a local fireworks provider for the show as the country prepares to mark its 64th anniversary of independence. Last year, the state of emergency led to the cancellation of the National Parade and the state-sponsored fireworks display, with government citing security concerns. The decision saved an estimated $2.6 million, while last August 31st was instead designated a National Day of Prayer and Reflection. Now the fireworks are expected to return alongside the Independence Day Parade. The return comes under new fireworks legislation passed in December 2025, introducing tighter rules governing its use. Meanwhile, the group Citizens Against Noise Pollution is calling for a more responsible approach if fireworks return.
The group says it fully supports independence celebrations, but stressed that any official fireworks display should be controlled, time-limited, and planned with consideration for residents, vulnerable people, and animals. The group called for a published schedule of the start and finish times of any display to be issued in advance, shorter displays, and quieter fireworks used where feasible. It is also calling for measures to discourage uncontrolled fireworks, to eliminate the noise which affects places such as the zoo and pet owners. The group is also suggesting drone technology as an alternative. We reached out to Defense Minister Wayne Sturge for confirmation on whether fireworks will form part of this year's celebrations. There was no response up to news time. And we understand that a grand drone show is being planned for this year's Independence Day celebrations. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Ratiram made the announcement during an interview with CNC3 News in Tobago. However, Ratiram declined to say whether the drone show will replace the traditional independence fireworks. Animal rights activists and groups against noise pollution have clamored for fireworks to be eliminated from the celebrations. With last year's celebrations cancelled due to security concerns, Ratiram said 2026 will include new elements.
We're going to be using technology. I believe we're going to have a beautiful drone show on the evening of Independence. We're going to have our national instrument. Today as we celebrate Steel Pan Day, I can, say happy Steel Pan Day to everyone. And on Independence Day, we will actually be having Pan on the Road happening for Independence. It's some new elements that Minister of Culture has brought into our independence.
The minister also denied any encroachment of green spaces due to the relocation of the annual parade at the Queen's Park Savannah. However, he directed all questions about approval for construction to his cabinet colleague.
The best person to answer those things, as I tell you, would be Minister of Defense, because in terms of when you speak of all the fund here, there and everywhere, those things, you'll have to speak to the Minister of Defense concerning those things in terms of what is being put together for the Independence Parade. But of course, I have full confidence in all my colleagues and everything that my colleagues do.
Minister Ratiram urged the public to put aside politics and celebrate Independence Day as a united country. Government Minister Philip Alexander assures that enhancements being done on the northern side of the Queen's Park Savannah to accommodate the August 31st Independence Day Parade will be removed after the event. Alexander addressed concerns about growing encroachment on the Savannah after government officials confirmed that the Independence Parade will be held opposite President's House instead of at the usual grandstand on the Savannah. He said the relocation of the parade to the Savannah's northern side saved millions, which would have had to be spent to dismantle and remove the north stand for the parade to take place. The new location will bring the parade closer to President's House. In a letter to the Guardian newspaper, communications strategist Denise Deming cited growing concern over the encroachment on the Savannah. She said it is a heritage site that belongs to every citizen of this country. One day after it was confirmed that the annual Independence Day Parade will take place opposite President's House instead of at the grandstand, we took to the streets of Port of Spain to ask citizens their thoughts on the shift.
Here's what some of you had to say.
For me, it would be infrastructure, because the grandstand is there, it's already paved. If it would mean uprooting things at the Savannah on that side, I think is unnecessary.
What is more important is that the fact that it's actually having it and taking place this year. So whether the location is in South, Central, East, or Port of Spain, it's taking place, and that's a great win for the country this year.
Well, I feel it might be an improvement.
Regardless of where it's being shifted to, the important thing is that we are having it.
For me, I would say if something isn't broken, there's no need to fix it. So I think there isn't no problem or issue with where it is right now. So it should be the same.
No, I don't agree.
All right. So what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts about the parade? The Independence Day parade is now being moved to close to President's house. What's your thoughts about that? We're getting back fireworks after all the hullabaloo and all the bacchanal and all the old talk and all the this and the that and the it and the up and the e. We're getting back fireworks. Covenants by VAPs. Covenants by VAPs. Somebody say. Somebody just call and say we in a election footing, local government coming up, so they're trying to appease and get people to like them. I don't know. You tell me. 4647003. 4647003. Is it true? 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 I saw this video. Before I play that video, I just want you all to keep Colombia in your prayers, boy. Please keep Colombia in your prayers. I saw this video. I saw this in the news this evening. Take a listen to this.
Screams of terror. Now replaced by shouts of determination and desperation. Survivors of the 7.4 magnitude quake that hit Western Colombia on Monday now banding together in a desperate race against the clock. Moving rubble by bucket brigade and by hand, emergency personnel, survivors and volunteers search amongst buildings for life in its many forms. Colombia's Geological Service has recorded more than 70 aftershocks across the country since the deadly earthquake hit near San Jose del Palmar, leaving over 220 dead and thousands missing. Now, Colombia's President Abelardo de la Espriella, who only took the oath of office last week, has declared a national emergency and ordered economic relief in public services for some of the affected for 3 months. It means people won't have to pay household bills, and those who lost their homes will be given financial support to rent temporary housing. World leaders have pledged assistance, and the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean says it will be providing US $500,000 in relief funds. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs on Monday confirmed it has received no reports of TNT nationals being affected by the quake, but says any national that needs assistance should reach out to the TNT embassy in Brasilia. As recovery efforts continue, the United Nations is warning that food distribution will be crucial in the coming days, with the number of missing people forecast to rise. Ben Pennell, CNC3 News.
So you need to keep Colombia in your prayers. Hello, good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Well, I guess I hear a lot better. Pastor, my wife I would love to hear. See that group who just come from God knows where I want to dictate what happened with the fireworks. Diwali last year.
If I remember, July last year.
Diwali last year, when there was no fireworks in person for Independence Day. But for some way, Diwali last year had a real noise.
Well, okay.
Who that group was?
Right. Well,
no, I try to understand. No, because I see BS. I have to say BS because all they want to come and dictate what happened with a national holiday, Independence Day, and how long we should have fireworks, if we should have fireworks at all. But however, lo and behold, last year we had no fireworks. But however, last Diwali is one time noise all over Trinidad. What that group was? What I have to say about it? Nothing. But all of a sudden they don't want to come and dictate. Anyhow, I don't want to say nothing much about them because I might say something.
But do you know that there is something called there are silent fireworks?
I know there are silent fireworks. I know. Okay. I know about it. But why can I say, right? You have for Independence Day, you have all the objections, you have all the suggestions. How come you doesn't tell them? You don't tell the people down in Nagar because at night what to do?
The Nagar had fireworks. The ending of
what? Say again?
The Diwali Nagar had fireworks at the end of their celebration last year.
You wasn't there? Oh, you didn't hear it? Alright, sorry.
I'm asking.
But I know it's real noise.
You were there?
Anyhow. I didn't go there. I don't go to anything.
So how?
But all over the country. So that said night was fireworks all over the country. All over the country.
No, well, South didn't have any. South didn't have any.
Well, I was from north from north all along. I was in Portugal, all Zico, all Wells, all even Shogunas come up here, noise. Oh, that whole night, noise. What that group was?
Okay, so it was all in them hole, boy. It was all in them hole.
Anyhow, it's not about me. Anyhow, back to the situation I have. And with regards to the parade, the minister women, because I don't know. Rafi, no, I'm talking about Rafi. I don't hear that. I don't
Wayne Stage.
I'm talking about Alexander.
Oh, Mr. Alexander.
Philip Alexander. It will save millions. How it will save millions? I try to understand this logic. Yeah, you're going to build stands. You're going to clear green space. How is it going to save millions?
Because they may have to pay.
First to begin, the North Stand supposed to be down months ago. Why is it down? Because people don't get paid yet. Who lies? It can't be. They can't be a opposition force.
Yeah, everything is your position. Everything is your position.
Government. So it can't be a opposition force calling. Why not stand? We in August. Was somewhere in February. Why not stand still up?
Because.
What do you mean, it's a culture? That's a question. So he wants to borrow his money because I don't understand. The stand was supposed to be done months ago. So that's what we have an issue on all year. But this OJT government we are here that do doing things as they go. So you talk about the save millions. How about save millions? I think that makes no sense. It can't save millions. It costs more because you still have to pay the man to move on stand, and you still go and erect new stands, and the parade going to scale down because where they have an parade, it can't. the capacity of solely of the detachment and the crowd, that probably going to scale them.
All right, because they don't want to let to be booing the Prime Minister.
So what? Say again?
They don't want Ole to be booing the Prime Minister.
Why?
Why Ole must go to boo the Prime Minister?
Okay. So if you do agree with the crap she said I'm doing, we must clap and wave. We clap and wave him faster. Sorry.
Well, don't boo Independence Day. Boo have some other time. Find another day. Find another event.
When? How? She don't show up no way. She'll hide in she house.
Well,
everything that go to she house. Imagine men flying from here and drive them to she house.
Well, as I said just now, we'll wait on that. The video will get a booha Independence Day?
You don't know because I don't know where I go for. I'm going to take a picture with my China.
Okay.
She's the last thing I'm on for the Independence Day.
Okay.
Well, she come nine but I need.
Alright.
Because she'll be the last thing on my mind. We tradition is my boys come from America and we have live all day and they take pictures with each other and that's it.
Okay.
So she's the last on that day. She'll be the last person on my mind if she on my mind at all that day. So she come nine but I need. But that period give me space. That will be scaled down a lot.
Alright, well let's wait and see.
Yeah, well, my just much I know. And yeah, we wait and see, but I don't think I want to more because I don't have time and space. I want to make some space, I want.
I don't know what space you're going to make, you know. Because the program done. Oh Lord. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks to all of you for calling in. Thanks to all of you for being a part of Constructive Talk this evening. Talk to you. Remember tomorrow, please God, the opposition has a press conference. You can join me live right here on Constructive Talk where I will be broadcasting it live. Alright, so I will be broadcasting live the press conference from the opposition tomorrow. So you can join me right here tomorrow as we broadcast live the press conference. Have a blessed night, everyone. Talk to you guys tomorrow, please God. Tomorrow is what, Wednesday? Tomorrow, please God, I should have my dad on with me.
The Constructive Talk team with Pastor Google are asking for your support in their back-to-school drive. Let's help the less fortunate children get ready for the new school term. Donations of notebooks, copybooks, stationeries, and book bags would be greatly appreciated. Show your love, show your generosity by contacting 464-703 and we will organize collection of your donations. Thank you from the Constructive Talk team. And remember to be kind, be generous, and be loved.
The information provided by the speakers and/or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.